Hey everyone, it's Michael Groff here to talk to you about your roof. With an active monsoon season expected this year, you need a name you can trust, and that's why you should call Blackstone Roofing Group for all of your roofing needs. Call for your free inspection today. Big or small, they do it all. Tile, shingle, or flat roofing, they can help, offering free inspections and more. Roofing made easy. Call 602-536-9363 or visit blackstoneroofinggroup.com to schedule your free inspection today. And if you tell them Michael Groff sent you, they'll take $500 off the price of your roof replacement. Again, that's 602-536-9363 or blackstoneroofinggroup.com. This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Thursday, the 3rd of July. I'm Michael Groff. An active weather day yesterday across the state, and as expected, showers and thunderstorms developed over east central and southeast Arizona, rolling into the lower deserts during the afternoon and evening hours. Reaching the Phoenix area after 6 p.m., we saw strong, gusty winds blowing dust. And yes, many spots did pick up some rain. Now, I know for a good portion of you, that wasn't much rain, but there were areas that saw some very heavy rain yesterday afternoon and evening. We'll take a look at just how much there was here in just a moment. Now, will there be a repeat performance today? We know the drier air is going to come in, but do we still have that chance for this afternoon or this evening? What about that 4th of July holiday weekend? We know temperatures are going up. How hot will they get? When might the monsoon return? So many questions. We'll get into all of it in just a moment. But before we can do any of that, housekeeping matter to attend to here. We did wrap up the month of June. I didn't get to the climate stats yesterday because we had so much to talk about. So let's do that today. Let's see here. There we go. June 2025 here in Phoenix. I saw a number of social media posts talking about how, it wasn't really that bad. Well, I think some people are kind of suffering from some recency bias here. I know the last few Junes have been very brutal, but this one wasn't exactly a walk in the park either. June 2025 goes down as the 11th warmest on record here in Phoenix. The average temperature about 2.2 degrees above the average, above the mean. And we did pick up 0.45 of an inch of rain officially during the month. All of that coming in the first couple or few days. But that ranks as the 7th wettest June on record. So, hey, not so bad, I guess. All right, let's get into it with the almanac from yesterday. 109 degrees was the afternoon high just before the storms rolled in. 78 the low. That occurred just after 11 p.m. Officially, 0.16 of an inch of rain at Sky Harbor Airport. And that kind of jives with what a lot of you saw, especially over the Central and East Valley. But it was a different story for the West Valley. Looking outside right now, just after 6 a.m., we've got mostly clear sky to begin this day, and we're sitting at 79 degrees at Sky Harbor, but it's steamy out there. Dew point way up at 70, relative humidity 74%. The winds are calm, and the barometer is rising. Temperatures out there this morning. 77, a very popular number. Mesa, Gilbert, Queen Creek, over there at Goodyear Municipal Airport, and Buckeye. Yep, 77. And up at Surprise as well, and Sun City West. We are mainly in the 70s. This is rain-cooled air, again, showing that most spots did pick up some decent precipitation yesterday afternoon and evening. It's actually 71 this morning down in Maricopa. This is how much rain we've picked up over the last 24 hours. And again, you can see a lot of spots, a few hundredths up to about 0.2 of an inch. But look out there at Buckeye Airport, 1.23 inches of rain. Goodyear Airport, 71 hundredths. Here in Avondale. Now, just down the street from Studio B here, about 1/10 of an inch of rain. But here officially at Studio B, we had almost an inch of rain. I mean, it rained and rained and rained and just kept coming on in. So quite an interesting evening. But you can see really the South and especially the West Valley did get the bulk of the rainfall. Let's show you what happened here as we put the satellite in motion over the last 18 to 20 hours or so. That area of high pressure across Colorado, we had an area of low pressure to the south and west of us, adding to the dynamic support here. And those showers and storms really got fired up yesterday afternoon and rolled in across the south central deserts. Now, This morning, most of that activity has moved off to the north and looks pretty quiet here over the state right now. We still have some isolated showers, again, up over far northern Arizona and the southeastern part of the state at this hour. But by and large, just a lot of debris clouds across the state at this time. Now, we will see a few storms fire up later today, but certainly a downtrend will start to take place. Here's the watch warning map. And again, it's pretty quiet out there. Some scattered air quality alerts, a flood watch over parts of West Texas, some heat advisories way up there over parts of northwest Alaska. Around Fairbanks, that's a red flag warning. Much of the Tanana Valley and the east central portion of that state with extreme wildfire danger. Again, temperatures are getting rather warm up across Alaska once again. All right, convective outlook for today. We've got that standard slight risk of severe storms, level 2 out of 5 for places like Minot, the Magic City, over toward Devil's Lake and Grand Forks, North Dakota. They've had some pretty active weather this summer. A marginal risk for the adjacent areas, including Minneapolis, St. Paul, La Crosse, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Madison. And another slight risk, 2 out of 5 risk for severe storms. Again, New York City, and points northward up into parts of New England. Now in Arizona, we're in the green, at least a fair portion of the state. South and west Arizona, not so much, but we do expect at least some thunderstorm activity to develop once again this afternoon. It should mainly be confined to the higher terrain, but we could see some isolated storms in the lower deserts. Tropics in the East Pacific, we've got Flossie. That is a now tropical storm. It's fizzling out and doing so rather quickly. We're not going to worry about this system. It's going to be off the board here in the next 24 hours or so. But there's that area of disturbed weather that's off the Mexican coast, another one with a high chance of development, about an 80% chance of development over the next 7 days. And so we are still on a record pace for tropical cyclone activity in the East Pacific. We always pay attention to these storms that develop down here off the Mexican coast as there's always a chance they can impact our weather, although this next one probably won't either. But we'll get into the details of that here. Here's the precipitation outlook, valid through Thursday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, not much. We might see a few hundredths of an inch. Heaviest totals across the higher terrain of east, central, and southeast Arizona. And as we always tell you, your amount will vary. This represents an average of what you'll see across the area. But we are going to see a pronounced drying trend for a while, and we're going to talk about that in more detail right now as we explore the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. That big ridge that's been out here across the southwest, it was starting to move away from us yesterday across Colorado. Now it's out across the Plains states, and we've got a trough, a weakening sort of open wave type system moving across the state today. Kind of unusual for the beginning of July to see that. There's actually another wave. It's a pretty active pattern for this time of year with another wave off of the northern California and Pacific Northwest coast. And there's another wave following up behind that over the Gulf of Alaska. Kind of a broader trough, a pretty pronounced low across central and northern Canada with these systems kind of pivoting around it. So this is definitely an anomalous setup. So what it means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today, unfortunately, in that kind of a situation, the flow aloft is going to start to turn southwesterly as we go through the day today. And that is not good for bringing storms off the mountains into the lower deserts. It's kind of the opposite of what you want to see. Now, with that trough coming through and the existing moisture that's in place, there are some dynamics associated with that. So we will still touch off some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, but if we see them coming in here, they'll be coming in from the southwest this afternoon. High temperatures today will be lower. We'll generally be in the upper 90s to about 103 degrees or so. Let me show you. This is the HRRR, our high-resolution rapid refresh model at 5 o'clock this afternoon, the simulated radar product. And at that time, again, yes, some isolated thunderstorms are possible this afternoon. The better chances of storms will be across northern, eastern Arizona, the southeastern portion of the state. And even there, they'll be kind of widely scattered in nature. But yes, we do have that chance of seeing some storms this afternoon. I guarantee you it will not be anything like yesterday. The atmosphere is somewhat worked over. And even with the kind of dynamic support with this system coming through, the air is going to be drying out as the flow is turning southwesterly. But we absolutely can't rule out storms this afternoon or early this evening. Otherwise, for tonight, we'll be warmer. Lows will mainly be in the 80s for us. And then tomorrow, for your 4th of July. How about it? Sunny, a little less humid, high temperatures. Still not bad, though. Really, upper 90s to about 105 degrees. I mean, for the 4th of July, you'll take that. Let's keep going. This is Saturday. We'll start the day out in the 70s to low 80s. High temperatures topping out, again, around 105 to 107 degrees or so. Let's keep it going. This is Sunday, and yeah, this is where we're really going to start to heat up as high pressure really starts to build back in across the southwest. Highs about 107 to 112 for the lower deserts. Again, sunny sky, dry air to continue. This is Monday. That ridge now is going to continue to build back in from the east across New Mexico and nosing in toward eastern Arizona. The flow will start to turn more southerly, maybe even southeasterly, so at least a little bit of monsoon moisture will seep back in across the eastern mountains of our state for some widely scattered afternoon thunderstorms there. But again, we're going to stay dry here in Phoenix, and high temperatures will top out around 109 to 113. Just going to be very hot. Now, Tuesday, the ridge is sneaking toward the Four Corners, and the flow is more southeasterly. So we'll at least have to put a low-grade monsoon forecast back in here. So partly cloudy with widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms. A few of those will get here into the lower deserts. High temperatures will still be hot, though. I'd say somewhere around 109 to 113. Some of our guidance suggests it's even hotter than that. Either way, the chance of storms is not great, but at least it's there, and that's going to hold on Wednesday as well. Kind of a low-grade monsoon forecast, at least for us, with widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms, and high temperatures still cooking, anywhere from 109 to 114 for the lower deserts. Let's keep it going. A week from today, Thursday, the 10th of July. High pressure is beginning to drift away from the Four Corners, and now it's shifting a little further west and expanding somewhat. And so I'd say the center of that is somewhere maybe over southeast California, southern Nevada, western Arizona. And in that configuration, it's just not good for really bringing monsoon moisture in here, unfortunately. So while we might see some isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon hours, a 594 ridge is going to kind of have a capping inversion effect. But we can't completely rule out storms. High temperatures will still be very hot, 110 to 115. Here's Friday the 11th. And again, high pressure. It's not in a great spot. It's pretty much right over us or just west of us. So kind of a northerly flow here in the lower deserts. Again, there could be some isolated storms over the mountains, but probably not much for us. We're just mainly hot and dry with high temperatures still around 109 to 114. Going out 10 days. This is Saturday the 12th. And it's more or less the same story, but the ridge does show signs of drifting back toward the east. Still, I would say only some widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms will be with us. I know you can see it on the map there. Some tropical cyclone activity over the East Pacific is going to continue. We're going to just kind of ignore that for now. I don't think it's going to play much of a factor in our weather, but should anything change, we will have to keep an eye on that. But at best, low-grade monsoon activity is going to be expected throughout much of next week, with probably a few days where we just don't see much of anything here in the valley. So unfortunately, right now, not looking so great, but at least we had the storms last night, so that's something. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix. Now, this goes out through the 17th of the month. This is off the GFS ensemble. 31 members, they all show rain, although technically most of them are showing it today and not much after that. Yes, there's some models that do definitely skew towards some decent precipitation out there, 7 to 10 days out and beyond. So that's kind of pulling up the mean toward a half an inch. I get that. But at least for a while, the next 7 days, probably not much to be found around here. And then as we look at the European AI ensemble, it is much less bullish. So again, we're probably going to stay dry mostly. for the next couple of weeks. Now, that's not to say we won't see any storm activity. Again, later this afternoon, we could see some isolated storms, and next week, we'll see isolated to widely scattered storms, but a big widespread event, at least right now, doesn't look like it's on the table. All of that being said, what do we know about weather? What do we know about the monsoon? Things can change. All it takes is one of these little disturbances, a little MCV, one of these little, mesoscale convective vortices. And it just fouls up the entire forecast, right? So that can happen. We'll get into it. We'll deal with it as it comes, right? Temperatures off the national blend of models. The trend is up, of course, as we go into the weekend and certainly next week. Highs well over 110 degrees. Not quite record-breaking, but certainly toasty. And that's how it's going to be for a while. And maybe a trend down toward the following weekend as maybe some more monsoon moisture comes in. And that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we do here, then I encourage you to click that thanks icon below the video and make that contribution to us that way, or even better, PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is the PayPal address. It's GROFF show@gmail.com for PayPal, just like Gary Johnson did earlier here on the 1st of July. He donates to us every single month, and we really do appreciate that, Gary. Every bit helps. And we had Brian donate to us on our Venmo, and our Venmo is also linked up down there in the description. So there's so many ways to help us out and support. Now, if you can't do it, if you can't support us that way monetarily, you know what? Just watching our videos, supporting our sponsors, Blackstone Roofing, that helps us out too. Everything that you guys do to participate in this video, even just liking, subscribing, commenting on the videos, that helps too. Everything helps us out, and I am eternally grateful to you guys. I really am. We have a great little community here. Again, it is not the largest audience on YouTube, not by a mile, but it is the best audience. I can safely say that. And I want to thank you guys so much for all that you do. All right, the executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion, in absentia, is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out, blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, Adriana related. Yeah, it's all linked up down in the description. Also, our streaming station, it's available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music. We have a lot of fun with that, so give that a listen as well. Also want to give a big shout out to our friend over there, the Courtroom Files channel. That's Dan, Courtroom Files, the Courtroom Files. Check him out. He does a great job with his channel, and he has been a huge, invaluable asset, him and his community, which is sort of bled over into our community, and it's been sensational. So he has helped to propel our views and our subscriber counts and everything like that. So I'm humbled. I am appreciative for all of you guys. Thank you so much. All right, that's it. Thank you guys. Thanks again for all that you do, all of your support. Please, I want you to be safe. I want you to stay cool, stay hydrated out there. I know on days like this, it's even more important that I stress that to you. You might think, oh, Mike, really, you should just tell people about staying cool and hydrated when it's over 110. No, it's days like today where it's deceptive, right? It's going to be cooler today. Highs upper 90s to about 103. But the humidity levels are up, and it's days like that that people let their guard down. So you have to stay hydrated, be safe out there. If you're going out, hiking, doing a walk, just outdoor activities. You're working in the yard, you're getting ready for the 4th of July, whatever it is you're doing out there, be safe. And have yourselves a terrific rest of your Thursday.